How are controversial topics handled in Scandinavian history education? Imagine sitting in a classroom where difficult parts of history are discussed openly and honestly. That's often how Scandinavian countries approach controversial topics in their history lessons. They want students to understand history fully, including the tough parts. In Sweden, for example, the curriculum clearly states that topics like the Holocaust, genocide, colonialism, and racism are key parts of history education. Teachers are encouraged to bring these issues into their lessons, but they do so carefully. They use a mix of official guidelines and their own judgment to decide how to handle sensitive subjects. Teachers often focus on making students think critically. They explain that history is about understanding different perspectives and the complexity of past events. When discussing events that happened a long time ago, teachers find it easier to talk about them because they seem less connected to current conflicts. But when topics relate to today's society, like immigration or social justice, discussions can become more delicate. Teachers then try to create a safe space where students can express their opinions without fear of judgment. A common approach is to connect historical controversies to ongoing debates in society. For example, teachers might talk about nationalism or racism today and link it back to historical events. This helps students see how history influences current issues. Teachers also encourage students to question how history is written and to recognize that different groups may have different stories about the same event. This promotes respect for diverse viewpoints and helps students develop their own understanding. Swedish and other Scandinavian schools also learn from past educational policies. After World War II, Sweden moved away from German-style education that was linked to Nazi ideas. This history made educators cautious about how they teach sensitive topics. They want to avoid any form of indoctrination and instead focus on teaching students to think for themselves. Overall, handling controversial topics in Scandinavian history education involves clear curriculum rules, teacher judgment, and strategies that promote open discussion. The goal is to help students understand history's complexity while respecting different opinions and encouraging critical thinking. They aim to prepare students to be informed and respectful citizens who can navigate difficult conversations about the past and present.